Boy, it's been a while since we've done one of these. Welcome back to DGOT, the Instant Reactions. We haven't stopped supporting cinema. We're just going to throw that out there. It's we've actually seen quite a few horror movies in the past month or so since our last one. I've been doing something. Dustin's been doing
Been busy.
something. Been bouncing around doing some things. So we apologize for that, but we are back. We're going to be talking about Shelby Oaks. It released last week, I believe. I don't
hmm
remember the exact day, but I was excited for this one for more than it's deeper than just I saw a trailer at the movies and it looked good, which I did see the trailer. And I thought it did look good, but I've been watching Chris Stuckman, the writer director. He's a famous YouTuber. I've mentioned him on our show plenty of times. Like I've watched his reviews for well over a decade now. Like I've been watching, his content for a long time, and I appreciate his content. I think he's a very good creator on that platform. So I was really excited to see that he got a movie made and distributed by Neon. It's got Mike Flanagan on as I think he's an executive producer. Like as a horror fan, like you can't ask for much better as your first film, right? Like I couldn't imagine like Dustin gets his first film greenlit. He gets Neon, A24 involved, distributing. You have somebody like a Mike Flanagan, executive producing, like you're hitting a home run on that one. So
Yeah.
I'm proud of him for that part. But let's get back to the movie part because I've watched a lot of reviews of this movie, and I've seen a lot of people say this, and I'm going to say the same thing. I love the story for Chris Stuckman. I don't love the movie. I don't love the product. Like, I'll just be quick with my general thoughts. I just thought it was a mess. I thought the movie was just a hot mess, honestly. I thought it started off pretty well, but once things got going, I feel like Chris kind of just went after every horror trope that was out there and kind of just threw it in a movie and hoped it landed, and it just didn't for me. If you like the movie, that's fine, but this movie, I was really just ready to go. Like, there's a certain
Yep.
point in the movie where I'm over it, and like I'm just like I'm really thinking like I wrote this in my letterbox for you. Is like I can't believe that the film critic I've been watching for over 10 years now watched this movie, in post production and thought like this is what I want in my movie. Like if he was reviewing this, like I feel like he'd critique the hell out of it. Like I don't think he
Yeah.
would like it if it wasn't his. Like I don't know. I'm not going to judge the man's product. I saw a lot of comments say it's easy to critique, it's not easy to make, and I'll just leave it at that. Go ahead, Dustin.
Yeah. And I'm not familiar with him. Besides us, I couldn't and Dead Meat James, I couldn't name any film critics if they're not like Roger Moore or you know Ebert RogerEbert.com. I don't watch the YouTube's movie reviewers, but I will say a couple things there. It could be one of those things like you've heard the expression 1,000 times. That's a face only a mother could love. Maybe he is proud of this movie because he made this, and I'm proud of him for doing it. Like you said, I have written a few scripts now, and that is my dream. I've written multiple different genres. I'm not just focusing on horror, but that's my dream, especially if I got to work with Neon or A24 because we're such big fans of those studios. A24 would be like you couldn't tell me anything for the rest of my life if they picked up one of my movies. But and then also it could be one of those things that maybe he doesn't love it as much as maybe he is more critical because it's his, but also because he realized after he watched it that the things he criticized in other movies, oh, I did that. So maybe this will make him realize it is a lot harder. Maybe he'll give more favorable reviews going forward. Who knows? But all that being said, I went into this blind. I saw that Chris Stuckman made it. Like I said, I wasn't familiar with him, but I knew of him just from hearing his name. And that's about all I knew about it. I didn't see a trailer for it. I did see it was Neon, so I was going to go see it regardless. But I didn't hate it as much as you. I thought it was okay. I don't think it was the best, best movie I've seen even in the past couple months. But I thought it was okay. I've been ranking the 2025 horror movies as I watch them. I've got a live list that I update and place them where I feel they need to go. I've seen 48 horror movies this year now that have released this year. I've got this one 32nd, and the two that are sandwiching it I've got it behind Toxic Avenger because that movie was just more enjoyable. Like that's a fun movie. And then I've got it slightly ahead of Traumatica, another independent, like pretty decent movie. So I didn't hate it. I thought it did some good, but I think it did a lot bad. And yeah, I'm not mad I watched it.
And
Unlike you, I think.
I'm not mad that I watched it. I just expected more from Chris Stuckman.
Yeah.
I mean, no offense to you, but like whenever you write a movie and get it made, like I'm gonna have high expectations for you too because
Oh God.
you're such a tough critic, and you're not gonna let some. I don't think you'd let some of this stuff slide.
Yeah. I think that the one thing that I take pride in is my ability to write dialogue. Um, I anyone who's read something a script that I've written, they compliment me on my dialogue writing. I make people sound in movies how people talk in real life. Everything else, I might screw up worse than him though. So let's cut him some slack there.
Yeah, we'll jump into the positives now. Like I agree with a lot of the reviews that I've seen online on YouTube, etc. That I thought like the opening was decent. Like we're finding out about Riley and the YouTube channel. It's nothing new that we haven't seen. Blah blah blah. But I thought it was fine. Like there was some good blood. There were some good scares, decent tension. Like you're actually a little bit invested with like what happened to Riley. So I appreciated that. I thought a lot of the camera work was good. Like I don't really have a problem with like the production value. I thought like there was good sound. Like all of the bones of it was good. But man, you talk about an ugly face on this movie. Goodness, that's really where my positives come to an end. Like I just thought it looked good. I thought the opening was decent. Like there was some good blood, some good gore. Like it was some shocking moments too. Like there was a scene where this guy comes up to what's her name, Mia's house, and just shoots himself in the head. Wasn't expecting that. That was a good little
Yeah.
jump scare. Nice little shocking moment of gore. I thought the jump scare where the glass just cracks out of nowhere, or the window cracks out of
Mm-hmm.
nowhere, that one got me as well. I've just watched his channel for so long, like, and he's got a video on his channel from about 10 years ago, where he made a video about the problem with horror movies today, where he critiques jump scares, like false jump scares. I appreciate the fact that he didn't really have any fake jump scares, so yeah, I think he stayed true to his word on that. But I just wasn't a big fan of this movie. And I'll talk about it more when we get to our negatives. Dustin, what's some of your positives?
Keith David.
Keith David
That's the biggest one.
and
Keith, that's the
the
biggest one.
the other cop. He's been in a few other movies we've done as well. I don't want to just call him the cop though. Michael Beach, Detective Burke. He's we've seen him in. You can keep talking. I didn't
Oh
mean to
yeah,
interrupt you. I'm
yeah.
sorry.
No, you're right. We have.
I think he was
He,
in Saw X. Wasn't he in Saw X?
uh, I
Yep,
don't know.
yep. He was in Saw
Okay.
X. I know we've seen
He
him
was
in some
in
other stuff too.
he was in Barry, which I know you haven't seen, but Barry is one of the best shows that HBO ever produced. So I loved him in that. He was also in Aquaman. I know you've seen that, but
He was in Dahmer as well. He was one of the
yeah,
detectives.
that's right. But no, Keith David. Anytime he's on my screen, I'm going to enjoy at least his scenes, and but this isn't a negative, but I've got to say something about it. Just like when we reviewed Nope, my biggest gripe about him in that movie was that you gonna kill him off that soon? Like we need more Keith David. This movie needed more Keith David. He's not in the movie very much at all. Um, the runtime is phenomenal. I know you said that you felt like it drug or however you phrased it. To me, I thought the runtime and the pacing were fine. Um, the gore that we got when we got it, I thought looked really good. I mean, really good. This movie had an estimated budget of $1.4 million. So for the movie to look as good as it did, and then also have gore that looked as good as it did, I thought that's a huge tip of the cap. Um, I like that it wasn't a straight up mockumentary. Um, I'll get into
We know you
that.
love those.
I'll get into that in my negatives. But I like how the first person stuff that we got, it made sense. That was my criticism. If you go back and listen to our review of Cloverfield, don'tgooutthere.com, that was my biggest critique of that movie was no one would still be recording at this point. You would drop the camera and run. In this movie, everything that we saw that was POV or first person or handheld cam made sense that they would do that. It made sense that they would record what they record. So I thought that was great. I thought the hinting that it was a hoax at first was really good because like I said, I went in blind to this. I didn't know really what this movie was about. Um, so for me, I'm thinking, okay, is this a hoax? Were they faking it, and then something bad's going to actually happen? So I like that they kept me guessing there. Um, I also like I had something and it just left me, but yeah, I thought that this movie did have plenty to be positive about. Like I like the overall story. Like once it unfolds and we see what actually happened, it didn't bother me. I liked it. Now there's some things that I didn't like in how they told it, but as far as the actual point A to point B and how we get there, the meat and potatoes of the story, I thought were good.
All right, so my biggest problem with the movie is just I think it was just a mess. Once it gets like I don't know, middle of the second to the third act, Mia, she's looking for her sister Riley. Is basically the whole concept of the movie. Who's been missing for 12 years now, and she's bouncing around doing some things. She finds some things out, and once she gets to like this house in the woods, first of all, those dogs look terrible. CGI houndooms, or
Yeah.
they look terrible. Like how? Like why? Just don't put them in the movie. Uh, so she does. All right, spoiler warning. She ends up finding her sister. She finds this like I think like these dogs like lead her to the house in the woods, and creepy old lady. This house is disgusting. Blah blah blah. And the killer who was at her house, who shot herself, lived with him. Like that's his mother, and she ends up finding Riley, which is cool. We want to see Riley get found, and she's not dead. Blah blah blah. But give me a fucking break. Like this movie went from like a paranormal investigation, gone missing, to like a true crimey kind of thing, to now we got demons, we got witches, sacrificing babies, and like there's just too much going on for me. Like I like movies that have more than one genre, but to me none of this worked. Like it was just way too much. Too much. There's too many ingredients in this stew, Bubba. Like my beef stew, all I want is beef, potatoes, and carrots. We don't got to church it up too much. And I just thought the ending was a mess. And then Riley, she gets brought home like what after a couple of days in the hospital. She's perfectly fine. We're just letting this traumatized woman of 12 years who's been raped and forced to have babies for years now. She's just here at this house, and they bring the Satan baby back to the house too. Like what are we doing? And we got this demon from the beginning who wasn't actually after Riley. She was after Mia. Like, come on, man. Like this, there's just too much going on for me, and it just didn't work. Like tell a nice and tight script. Like I know Brian has said that so much. Nice and tight writing. Like I don't know. This is just messy, and I feel like Chris. Like if he takes, I think he takes criticism well. I think he'll watch it back, receive the criticism. Like Stephen Cognetti with Hell House Lineage, like you mentioned. Why'd you leave the found footage? Why are we doing this? Why are we bringing all these characters back? Like there's just too much sometimes. And that's just how I felt about this one. That's just too many genres going on, and I just thought it was messy. I just wanted something different.
Okay. So I thought of two more positives. What I was trying to think of before. I like that in a lot of the shots, that demon or that being, whatever you want to call it, was in the background and it's very subtle.
Yep.
Like that was really good stuff.
But what
And
about when
also
it's
there
brought
was,
to the light too much? It didn't look great.
yeah, that's fair. And I mean, that's $1.4 million budget. Like I blame it on that. That's not the most egregious look that we got. You already mentioned. I'll save it for just a second when I get to the negatives. But another positive is there was a line that I texted you while I was in the theater that made me laugh. She goes, when she finds the house in the woods and she goes inside, she hears something upstairs. She goes, "You live here alone?" And the old lady just goes, she pauses, she goes, "Nope," and just walks off. Dude, I laughed so hard. Like I
There,
audibly laughed in the
there
theater.
were a few funny moments.
But just a nope. And no offer of explanation of what that sound was or who she lives with. Just nope. And walk. That was so funny. All right, to the negatives. Oh, and also let me comment on one of your negatives. So I don't think there was too much going on as far as what you were talking about.
That could be a
It
preference
starts,
thing too. That's just a preference thing.
yeah. But it kind of worked for me because it starts out a paranormal investigators. So we think that's where we're going. Like, ooh, they're going to find a haunted house, and then they go missing. So then it turns into true crime. Oh, that's where we're going. But really, what it is, I think witches and conjuring the devil and a baby kind of go hand in hand. We literally 20 minutes ago got finished recording our review of Rosemary's Baby. A lot of those vibes. So I don't think it was too convoluted in that regard personally, but I can see why you would see that because you were expecting one thing and they kept changing directions. For me, I was just along for the ride. None of my negatives. Those dogs looked awful. I mean, they weren't quite as bad as the monkey dogs from Gladiator 2.
Hey, that movie had a huge budget. It had no excuse to have them things in
Yeah,
there.
that movie didn't. But these dogs look bad. And I don't understand why one of the dogs didn't look bad. Like I still don't know if one of those dogs, like towards the end, was that a real dog? Because it looked good. Why don't you just make them all look like? You can add that glow effect to their eyes. Use real dogs though. Dogs are trained. They're easy. So you want a dog to walk up and growl? They have dogs that can do that. They have horses that can do a lot of stuff. Go watch Nope. Um, but the dogs look bad. And then I thought that the second half just got so tropey.
Yep.
Like there's just so many things that we've seen a million times, and then you've got these characters just making awful decisions, and it's like, come on. Uh, and then
Talk
the
to us.
worst cops of all time. She's in the woods by the amusement park where her sister was known to be at, and she found this cabin. The cops didn't. And
No,
if the
yeah,
cops
exactly.
and if the cops did find that cabin, they didn't look around because they would have heard the same rustling. They would have looked and the pictures of the known insane maniac criminal all over the house. Like she was hiding in plain sight. So it bothers me how bad the cops were. Deputy Dewey would never. Um,
Dewey would have
and
found her.
then Dewey would have found her. He would have got stabbed 19 times. Found her, survived. It'd have been great. Um, and then another thing that I rolled my eyes at. This is at the very end. Number one, like you said, she's gone through hell, and you're gonna leave her alone,
With the baby?
like with that baby, which you know is Satan's baby. But not only that, like even if the baby wasn't in the room, the victim should not be in the room alone because she just went through a traumatic experience. When people go through traumatic experiences, they have night terrors, they have panic attacks. She needs someone to be there and comfort her and keep an eye on her round the clock. So why are you leaving the room? And then another thing, she walks over to the baby with the pillow. Just do it. Just do it. She was moving in slow motion. It's like she was waiting for her sister to stop her. Don't like that. But that's not even the most egregious part. She took a tumble out that window. And brother, I laughed.
It was ridiculous. They
It was
killed her
ridiculous.
like that? Like she survived it.
But
They killed her?
but not just that she fell out the window. The fact that her sister was upstairs, saw it happen, and then just looked down at the ground while dogs ripped her apart. Like if my sister, or anyone for that matter, takes a tumble out the window, I'm running downstairs out the front door, be like, "Are you alive? Are you okay?" I'm checking on them. I'm not just gonna stand there and watch and let these dogs run up and rip her apart. Like, oh my, I absolutely hated that. That's the one thing about this movie I can say I hate is how she survived all this. She fell out the window. Her sister did not care at all, and then just watched her get eaten by dogs.
Well, they try and establish it right at the very end that this demon or whatever has been after Mia the whole time and
Yeah,
took over her. It's like, give me a fucking break, man.
but it didn't explain it. It didn't justify it for me because really you don't see a change in her demeanor until the demon puts its hand on her shoulder.
Yep.
Put your hand on my shoulder. But because before that, she's still standing there with this mortified look on her face, like she is concerned, but she didn't move.
Mm-hmm.
If she had tried to, and then the demon put her hand on her shoulder and like stopped her from going outside, okay, that's explanation enough. She stood there and watched it all. I can't forgive that.
Yeah, I just thought it was a hot mess. I was very disappointed in the movie, honestly. Like I really thought, we were talking about Rosemary's Baby and slow burns. Like that movie was a slow burn. It was a long movie, but I was still kind of invested the whole time just from the creepy atmosphere. Like after it stopped, after like that introduction kind of with like establishing Riley kind of, and like once the husband started getting real tropey and not believing her, blah blah blah. She just drives off and goes to this prison. And Dustin mentioned this as well. Where does she get this fucking flashlight from? The antique
Oh my
store?
god. She had a 1973 Coleman flashlight that she got out that her grandparents got out of the Sears catalog. What? Ain't you ever heard of a mag light? My
Use your
iPhone,
iPhone for
my
anything.
iPhone has a better flashlight than
Like,
that
what are
thing.
we doing? I've seen you use the
And
phone.
that's one of the tropes that I was talking about. It went out. It stopped working at the most convenient time
Never
for the movie.
fails.
And it's like, okay, we've seen this. Chris, you've seen this. I'm sure you've critiqued it because you've seen it so many times. Do something else.
Chris reviews all movies, right? But every Halloween, like he does horror specifically, he does horror releases. So it's not like this is a genre that's not he's not aware of. One
But
thing I
see,
will go ahead.
you just dropped more knowledge on me. Like I said, I'm unfamiliar with his work. I thought he was just horror, but he does all movies.
He
So
does all
okay,
movies. Yeah, he does all
that's cool.
movies.
That's cool.
But the thing is like one thing I do think is cool is like I've seen so many people say online. It's like Jeremy Johns. You ever heard of Jeremy Johns? He does movie reviews on YouTube.
I know Jimmy John's.
Well, Jeremy Johns, he does YouTube reviews. Well, like they were the two OGs, kind of, and like it was really cool to see like Jeremy Johns like review a Chris Stuckman movie, and like I
Mm-hmm.
saw a comment in the YouTube comments that said this is like DC and Marvel meeting finally or whatever. I didn't get the reference, but
Oh yeah, you did. You did.
but I just thought that was really cool. But like I really appreciate the fact that people are being honest about how they feel about the movie too. They're not just sugarcoating it because
Yeah.
one of their comrades, made it out of the mud or whatever and got a movie made. Well, this after this movie and House on Eden, which I like House on Eden better. I don't know where your list is, but these creators and these YouTubers, man, like everybody ain't the Filippo brothers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like not everybody's
sure.
them. Like we need to start. Like I remember people being pissed that David Lynch didn't get his movie. Like he wanted to get a movie made before he died, and he couldn't get funding. But like, what are we doing? Like we got to let movie makers like get this funding. Like because
Yeah.
like sometimes YouTubers just need to YouTube. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you don't know until you try.
That's true.
You know
But
that one of my favorite comedy movies, School of Rock, says those who can't do teach. Those who can't teach Jim. And so maybe that's what this is. He tried to play, he can't do, so now he's got to go back to teaching. He's got to go back to talking about it. That's fine.
nah, if Chris makes another movie, which he will, I'll go see it. I'll support
I'll
it for
support
sure. Because I think he'll take criticism and I think he'll get better. Like I don't think he just
And,
stay in the slums.
and even if he doesn't, this movie was good enough. Let me rephrase it. This movie wasn't bad enough for me to not see his next project.
My problem is
I thought it was
more
fine.
expectations than quality.
That's fair.
Because like obviously like something like a low budget like Jimmy and Stiggs is one of the most reprehensible things I've ever seen. Like that movie annoyed the hell out of me.
That movie is dead last on my list of horror movies for
Lower
2025.
than Screamboat? What
It's number
one?
48. Screamboat's 47, but that's like a 47-1 and 47B type situation.
I don't get. I know Screamboat wasn't good, but like it wasn't like okay. It's fuzz on the lens. I get it. I get it. Final thoughts, man. I don't really got much more to say. I'm still a fan of Chris's, but I really wasn't a fan of this movie.
I'll just read my letterbox real quick. So I put that when it started as a fake documentary, I was discouraged. I've been very vocal about how much I dislike documentaries. They're just not for me. It's like watching paint dry. And when it started like that, it gave me Strange Harvest vibes. And then once it got going, it gave me those vibes mixed with House on Eden, movie you just mentioned. But to me, it turned out to be better than both of those two movies. It's full of familiar tropes and questionable character decisions and has the worst cops of all time. Parentheses, how did they not find the house where Riley was at? But one more positive. I give bonus points for the inclusion of the Rubber Bowl. That stadium, that abandoned stadium they show in the beginning, that's Akron's old stadium. And they just replaced the word rubber with Shelby. So that was cool to me as a football nerd, as a Mac nerd. Shout out to Akron. I gave the movie 2.5 stars on Letterboxd. Like I said, I have this one 32nd out of the 48 I've seen this year that are horror. I have Strange Harvest 35th. I have House on Eden 38th. So I liked it pretty considerably better than both of those.
I'd take Strange Harvest over this one too, personally, but that's all personal preference. I felt
Yeah,
like that movie knew what it was and stayed in its lane the whole time.
yeah. It just
You just don't like
it,
mockumentaries,
I
though.
don't like mockumentaries or documentaries, so yeah.
That's fair.
Unless it's The Office, I like The Office.
Yeah, that's just 25 minutes of your day, not an hour and a half.
Yeah,
But anywho, we appreciate y'all tuning in. Next week, I'm sure I don't know if Dutch, you're going to get your Frankenstein's not showing up there, is it for you?
it's on Netflix next week. Like
Yeah,
it
yeah, yeah. But
releases
I'm saying it's
worldwide
not.
on
I'm saying
Netflix.
it's not on the big screen for you up there, though.
It's not, and I'll be honest. Movies that are Netflix releases, I'm not going to theater to see. So you're better cinema supporter than I am. I pay Netflix every month for a reason.
Yeah, but I'm saying though, like me and you are both fans of like the Knives Out movies and Glass Onion. Like
Hmm.
the third one's going to get a theatrical release. I'm going to go see it if it comes out around here.
Yeah, I might. It depends on what the streaming release date is. I just
It's
have a
in
hard
it's in
time.
Christmas.
I don't. The Christmas.
The,
Are they
the
the same? Is what I meant. Is the theatrical and
gotcha. Like, is it
yeah,
before? Like,
yeah.
I really want to see the Frankenstein movie. Like, it just looked. It's worth seeing on the big screen if you get a chance.
That's fair. I probably won't, but that's fair.
You just don't like Oscar Isaac and Christoph Waltz, like
I
some
love Oscar Isaac. What are you
elite
talking about?
actors.
Have you seen The Most Violent Year? Because I have. I love Oscar Isaac.
I've seen Ex Machina, and that's it.
Wow.
You've seen way more movies.
You've seen X Men Apocalypse.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. You saw Moon Knight.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
one. But anyway, we appreciate y'all tuning in for Shelby Oaks. Don't let me talk you out of not going to see it if you want to go see it. Go support cinema like we always say.
Yeah.
Appreciate
For
y'all
sure.
tuning in and support
Good
Neon. We like Neon.
good night, Canada.